Welcome everyone. This is my cheap Harley Davidson Nightster. I bought the cheapest Nightster on my local Craigslist. It was a sight unseen purchase. The guy drove it to my office and it ended up being in way worse condition than what he described. And this is not how it came. The bike had so much rust on it. I've never seen one this bad in California, but it was parked at the beach. The wheels were pretty much orange from rust. It was a lot worse than I thought. But the good news here is that it did come with forward controls. It did come with a Vance & Hines exhaust, an intake, a tune, and a cam. And so it makes great power. It's very fun to drive. But when the guy dropped it off at my office, I went to start it to drive it home and it wouldn't start. And so there's actually security camera footage of me getting pushed by my coworker to get this thing started and to get it home. Now, one of the most terrifying things about riding this bike home was the tires were the original tires. The bike has 12,000 miles on it, and so the tires were not in good shape. The bike was tramlining all over the freeway. I couldn't see a damn thing because the factory headlight doesn't really work very well. And so overall, just not a great bike to drive on the freeway at night. There's no wind guard or anything. It was an adventure, but it was fun. And so I took it home, ordered some parts for it, and I had been waiting months to get the right parts. It's been an ordeal. So let's go over what I changed first. The first thing that I changed was the wheels, and the wheels that I got on the bike were extremely rusted, and I made a video about how you can use electrolysis to remove the rust on those spokes. And that was one way to do it. The more appropriate way to do it would be to relace the wheels. But I wanted to put a fat tire on this Harley. And with Harleys, you can usually sell your parts and buy other Harley parts, and it won't cost you too much to make the change. So for instance, these wheels and tires are off of a 48. They're brand new takeoffs. I sold my old Nightster wheels for 200 bucks and I bought these ones for 400, and that's a net cost of 200 bucks. And now I have new tires and shiny new wheels. Now, the downside is that's not gonna fit on my stock triple tree. I had to get a wide glide triple tree. I didn't have to get a wide glide, I could have gone mid glide, but I got a wide glide triple tree, and this is from Vulcan Works Engineering. It's very nicely done, but they sent me the wrong axle spacers. So I went to put this together, and the axle spacers are incorrect for my setup, and that could be my fault, it could be his fault. But when I call them, they don't answer the phone, and so I kind of had to figure that out on my own. I just got the axle spacers today, so I can finish this bike and hopefully I can go out and ride it. So I'm gonna ride it out to Cook's Corner once I put everything back together. Now with the headlight, with the new triple trees, it's a bottom mount headlight now, and I wired in an LED headlight, and this is probably another thing that isn't super straightforward. I had to cut and splice some wires in there and reroute the wires through the back of the headlight housing and then get a bolt to bolt it on down here. But this headlight is much brighter, and it's only about 50 bucks off Amazon, so it looks cool too. So I'm excited about that. The two difficult things with installing this, if you're following the factory service manual, the two difficult things that I ran into trouble with was having the correct parts for the axle, that'd be the axle spacer, and then also wiring in and bolting up the bottom mount headlight, because my other headlight wouldn't work with this. So this looks pretty cool. I am gonna go to a wider tire eventually, but because this tire is new, I'm gonna run it for a little bit. Now, the fork legs, I removed the reflectors and then I sanded the fork legs while I had them off, and I coated them, and I used an epoxy spray paint, and that is pretty effective. Not as good as powder coating, obviously, but not a bad route. The other thing I did moving back on the bike here is I haven't cleaned any of this up yet. I can polish out this exhaust, these covers here, clean up that, but I haven't done that yet. I removed the cover on the belt here because it looks a lot cooler without that cover. You just have to be careful about catching your finger or clothes in there because that could cause some problems. The rear shocks were super rusted, so I put some progressive shocks on while I had everything apart, and the rear wheels over here. So with the rear wheel, I just had to swap over the disc and the drive, and That's what that looks like. So I'll toss that guy on there and then we'll go test this bike out. The first thing I need to do is pull this axle out, put the correct spacer on, torque everything down there, then bolt this wheel on the back, and I guess I'm good to go. Oh, the other big thing was the battery. The battery was dead, so I threw a new battery in it. But that's it on this. We're gonna put it together and see what it looks like and go test drive it. First start, here we go. All right, we are leaving the suburbs now. We're headed out to Cook's Corner. This is a biker bar in Orange County where all the Harley Davidsons go. Oh look, there's another biker. So the bike that we are on is a 2008 Harley Davidson Nightster. It has a 1200cc engine and all the power is pretty much down low. It has an intake, an exhaust, and a cam, so it has a little bit more mid-range than a stock one. It really pulls hard when you rev it up. It is just a really great day to go on a ride. The sky is clear. The weather is nice, and the BMW next to us has a license plate that says Dada. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. All right, let's do a little acceleration test here. This guy is turning, so we're gonna downshift, no one behind us, slow down a little bit. And I just wanna show you the mid-range on this bike. It is pretty crazy. Whoa! That thing pulls. You see I got some speed wobbles there, so I definitely don't want to go up over 100 on this bike. Oh no, I just lost the brake caliper bolt. Nah, I'm not going to find it. At least there's another one holding it on. Yeah, the brake caliper bolt is gone. This is not good. But we're almost at Cook's, so I just tightened it up a little bit there. We should be able to make it. Alright, we made it. We are at Cook's Corner. I'm glad the bike didn't die. Let's check what time it is. Looks like it's time to get a new caliper bolt. I'm gonna head home now. There it is, there's Cook's Corner. There is the proof that I made it, and that is all I need. It's a little bit too early to grab a drink, so I'll save that for the weekend. We are back. We are in the garage here. That did not go as planned. I did not plan to lose the caliper bolt. When I was checking the bolt torque on all the critical parts, I forgot the brake caliper, which was a pretty big mistake. And so one of the bolts rattled itself out. I noticed the bolt gone while I was riding it, and yeah, that was not good. So fortunately for me, today I sold some of the old parts that I had. I sold that to a guy who had a motorcycle shop, and he gave me a couple new bolts. I'm gonna put these in. I'm gonna go run through this gas tank, and then I'm going to remove the gas tank so I can route these electrical wires through the triple tree. I did not do that yet because I started this project when the gas tank was full. So pretty much just need to route these wires, put some miles on this bike this summer, and then probably do another winter project with it. That's the plan with that. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you enjoy your car.